Good evening, everyone. It is 5:30, so I'm going to call the county board meeting to order. And so we would like to move on to item number 2, and that is invocation, moment of silence from Member Loeffler.
Heavenly Father, source of every good gift, we pause in gratitude to thank you for the rich harvest of the earth, for sun and rain, for seed and soil, for the fruits, grains, and vegetables that nourish our bodies and sustain our communities. We thank you also for the gift of human labor and ingenuity, for the work of farmers and factory workers, for scientists, engineers, merchants, and all who build, create, and serve through honest industry. Bless the hands that plant and the minds that plan, so that our shared efforts may bear fruit in justice and peace. Teach us, Lord, to be good to one another, to speak with respect, to act with fairness, to share the harvest generously, and to treat every person we meet as a brother or sister made in your image. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And turn it over to Madam Clerk to call the roll.
Val Lehman.
Present.
Brian Loeffler. Here. Mike O'Neill. Here. Adam Reeves. Adam Reeves. Here. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were here. I'm sorry. Jim Rogal.
Present.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza.
Here.
Jeff Tompkins.
Here.
Andy Barth. Here. Andy Z. Barth, I apologize. Brian Bangert.
Here.
Corey Byrne.
Present.
Beverly Bell.
Present.
Mark Claus.
Present.
Leah Klein.
Present.
Alex Duffy.
Present.
Sean Fagan.
Present.
Buck Farley.
Here.
William John Friedrich. Frederick. Eric Hansen, absent. Chairwoman Elizabeth Johnston.
I am here, and that gives us 18, and we do have a quorum. So next item, item 5, appearances by members of the public and county employees. Seeing here on our list that we have no one here for that tonight, so we will move on to item number 6, the consent agenda. May I have a motion? Motion by Member Duffy, second by Member Farley. Comments or questions? Yes, Member Klein.
Thank you, Chairperson. I need to pull item 6C1A.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions regarding the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor of item 6, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on. Item number 7, standing committees. I will turn it over for executive committee to Vice Chair Rogal.
Executive Committee has 2 items to be presented for action. 7A1A, request approval of the Chair's recommendation on appointment to County Board District Number 4, and I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Farley. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 7A1A, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this point, I want to invite Mr. Bessler up for his oath of office, if you can come up here.
I state your name.
I, William Bessler,
Having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of McLean County Board,
to the office of McLean County Board,
District Number 4,
District Number 4,
by the McLean County Board,
by the McLean County Board,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of McLean County Board, District Number 4,
of the office of McLean County Board, District Number 4,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
All right, and if you will take your seat on that back row, and then back to you, Vice Chair Rogal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next up, we have 7A1B, which is request approval of a resolution approving Chair's recommendation to the standing committees, subcommittees, and Liquor Control Commission of the McLean County Board. And I so move.
May I have a second? Second by Member Leffler. And I will, go ahead and hand them out. Once Julie hands them out, give everybody a few moments to look over it and see if you have any questions. I'll say that we made as few changes as possible, and the people who did have to be changed were notified prior to the meeting. Any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, all in favor of item 7A1B, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
The Executive Committee has no other items to be presented for action. Our general report can be found on pages 29 through 35 of the unapproved minutes, and I can answer any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7B, Finance Committee with Member Lehman.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. The Finance Committee has no items to be presented for action this evening. As far as items to be presented for information, our general report can be found on pages 26 to 28 of the unapproved minutes packet, and I am here to answer any questions you have in the meantime.
Thank you, Member Lehman. Moving on, item 7C, Health Committee. Member Byrne.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Health Committee brings 7 items for action today. Item 7C1A, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of McLean and the City of Blooming for temporary use of their kitchen facilities, and I so move.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second by Member Rogel. Comments or questions?
I will need to recuse myself from this vote.
Thank you, Member Bessler. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 7C1A, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have one abstention, and the motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With the board's permission, I would like to combine items 7CB and 7C1B and 7C1C together.
Okay, no objections here.
Thank you very much. Item 7C1C, request approval of an ordinance to amend Chapter 205 fees, Article 11 miscellaneous code fees in the McLean County Code for Chapter 216 food service. And item 7C1C, request approval of an ordinance to amend Chapter 205 fees, Article 11 miscellaneous code fees in McLean County Code for Chapter 310 sewage disposal systems, water wells, and geothermal exchange systems, and I so move.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second by Member Fagan. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of items 7C1B and C, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And with the board's permission, I would like to combine items 7C1D through G.
I have no objection.
All right, thank you. These items require a 2/3 county board approval pursuant to 55 Chapter ILCS 5/6-1003. And we have item 7C1D, request approval of an emergency ordinance amending CY25 combined appropriation and budget for Fund 0105-0061-0067 Preventative Health Program. Item 7C1E, request approval of an emergency ordinance amending CY25 combined appropriation and budget for Fund 0107-0061-0061 West Nile virus. And item 7C1F, request approval of an emergency ordinance amending CY25 combined appropriation and budget for Fund 0112-0061 and 0060 Behavioral Health. Finally, item 7C1G, request approval of an emergency ordinance amending CY25 combined appropriation and budget for Fund 0112-0061 and 0111 TB services, and I so move.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second by Member Fagan. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of items 7C, 1, D, E, F, and G, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For our general report, several items to share. It has been another busy month for our health care agencies. I'd like to first offer congratulations to local disability services agency Lifelong Access on their 70th birthday. Vice Chair Hansen and I, along with our counterparts from the city of Bloomington, attended that celebration in their beautiful facility recently. Lifelong Access offers vital services to residents with disabilities and helps to remove barriers and empower the roughly 10% of all individuals in McLean County with disabilities to reach their fullest potential. As someone who takes full advantage of accessibility services in my own employment due to my own disability, I'd like to give Lifelong Access a special congratulations. McLean County, along with Prairie Pride, Central Illinois Friends, and other organizations, recently recognized World AIDS Day on December 1st with a viewing of pieces of the original AIDS quilt highlighting local residents whose lives were tragically cut short by this debilitating illness. This year is particularly poignant as it is the 40th anniversary of the death of the first McLean County AIDS patient. We'd like to acknowledge the work done by the health department to educate about prevention and offer preventative services such as PrEP and PEP medication. In departmental news, renovations continue at the McLean County Nursing Home and remain on schedule. Health Committee recently approved an agreement with the City of Bloomington to share kitchen facilities while renovations proceed to minimize disruptions. Several contracts were also renewed with mental health providers for our agencies. The Health Department has been busy recently and released their third quarter report. Some highlights: the Health Department partners with Chestnut Health Systems on its Narcan training and distribution program. As of third quarter, almost 600 people have been trained and over 3,700 Narcan boxes have been distributed at no cost. Health Department staff were also recognized in the third quarter for their excellent work protecting and promoting health. Better Birth Outcomes Supervisor Sophie Rebert was asked to speak as a panelist during the Women to Women Fall Forum. Community Health Services Division Director Jerry Stewart was recognized by WMBD as a hometown hero. And HIV navigator Aaron O'Malley accepted the Illinois Public Health Association's Program of Excellence Award on behalf of the PrEP for HIV program at the association's annual conference. The immunization program in the Health Department gave 2,402 immunizations to 1,133 individuals from July 1st to October 31st, 2025. In addition, approximately 650 flu and COVID-19 vaccinations have been given out since September. Lastly, there's been some attention paid to recent inspections resulting in the removal of products containing THC from some local retailers. The County Health Department is working to get additional guidance from state and federal health and food agencies to clarify those policies. Those products are no longer embargoed and may be sold. The Health Department continues to support all local food and beverage retailers and ensures that new products are in compliance with regulations that keep residents safe. The Health Department encourages continued dialogue and communication between retailers and public health agencies as new products come to market and regulatory guidelines are established. As we work to clarify these policies, retailers are encouraged to reach out with any questions about products falling into those gray areas.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for the summary. Moving on, if there are no questions from the board, I will move on to item number 7D, and that is Justice Committee with Vice Chair Rogal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Justice Committee has one item tonight for action, 7D1A, which is request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Bloomington and the County of McLean regulating the use by the County of McLean of the City of Bloomington's police shooting range facility, and I so move.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second by Member Zebarth. Comments or questions?
I will also need to recuse myself from this vote.
Thank you, Member Bessler. Any other comments or questions? It's been a longstanding partnership with the sheriff and with the City of Bloomington to provide extra training for our staff. So, all right. No other comments or questions. All in favor of item 7D1A, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes with one abstention.
The Justice Committee has no other items to be presented tonight for action. Our general report can be found on pages 21 through 25 of the unapproved minutes. I can answer any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you so much. We'll move on to item 7E, Property Committee with Member Lehman.
Thank you, Chair Johnston. The Property Committee has one item to be presented for action this evening. That's item number 7E1A, the request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance. And I'll call out that this requires a 2/3 county board approval pursuant 55 ILCS 5/6/1003, and I so move.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second by Member Byrne. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor of item 7E1A, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, back to you.
Thank you, Chair. The Property Committee has no other items to be presented for action this evening. Our general report may be found on pages 18 through 20 of the unapproved minutes packet. And again, happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you so much, Member Lehman. Move on to item 7F, Land Use and Transportation. That's Member Klein.
Thank you so much, Chair Johnston. We have item, what we call 7F1A, which, sorry, should be prepared to read out loud. Forgive me. That is approve application of SVCSG Bloomington LLC by Sunbest in case SU 2510 on parcels 21-07-300-020, parcel 21-07-300-021, parcel 21-07-300-006, and parcel 21-07-300-014. It is requesting a special use to allow a commercial solar energy generating facility and a battery energy storage system, BESS, in the agricultural district in Bloomington Township at 2105 West Oakland Avenue, Bloomington, Illinois, and also immediately east of Oakland Avenue, approximately 1/3 mile north of 6 Points Road, and I so move.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second by Member Duffy. Comments and questions? Yes, Member Klein.
So thank you, Chair Johnson. I pulled this item tonight with the intention of proposing 2 amendments, or maybe more accurately, 2 stipulations to the BESS portion of this project. Last month, we approved the county's first battery energy storage system, the Invenergy standalone facility in the rural area outside of Chenoa. The project before us tonight differs in a meaningful way. It's located just outside the Bloomington city limits off Oakland Avenue, and that puts it in a far more densely populated area and one near significant infrastructure. Because of that location, several board members have understandably sought additional information about the applicant's fire safety equipment and their plan for responding to a fire event. One concern that emerged was the noticeable difference between Invenergy's fire prevention and suppression approach and the approach proposed by tonight's applicant. These 2 projects use different technologies, battery and enclosure types, and manufacturer standards. Several of us were unsure how to evaluate those differences or whether they carried any implications for public safety. To gain clarity, I consulted with members of the Bloomington Fire Department to better understand how the county can ensure that all BESS applicants meet the highest standards for fire prevention and emergency response, despite the wide variability across systems. Their recommendation was to require applicants to demonstrate compliance with the current International Building Code and International Fire Codes. These codes were significantly updated in 2024 to include specific recommendations for BESS facilities shortly after the county adopted our current application standards. They include detailed requirements for unit separation, system management, monitoring, and the design of dedicated support buildings. Our zoning ordinance does not require applicants to provide it does require our applicants to provide a fire safety plan that complies with National Fire Protection Association standards, which are the 855 standards, but it does not currently require compliance with these new updated international codes. Incorporating those standards would ensure that all BESS projects approved by the county meet the most current and most rigorous safety expectations. So tonight, I will propose incorporating those standards as a stipulation on this project. I will also be working to determine whether the county will retain the authority to enforce these requirements once the new SB 25 goes into effect this summer. I want to thank my Vice Chair Adam Reeves and Vice Chair of the Board Jim Rogal and Phil Dick for their assistance as we examine these questions and concerns over the past week. So with that, I would like to make a motion. I'm going to make 2 amendments. The first, that before applying for a building permit from the Building and Zoning Department, the applicant must seek and obtain approval from the Bloomington Township Fire Protection District for their fire safety equipment and fire response planning. And two, that the applicant must provide written documentation demonstrating that the project's fire safety and suppression equipment, as well as its fire response planning, comply with the 2024 International Building Code and International Fire Code requirements, along with any superseding recommendations issued by those bodies. This documentation should be provided to both the Director of Building and Zoning and to the chairperson of the Land Use and Transportation Committee at the time the applicant requests a construction permit for their project. And I move.
You make that motion?
Yes.
Is there a second? Second by Member Tompkins. Comments or questions about the amendments? So this will be a two-part vote. We will first vote on the amendment as it has been presented, and then once that has been amended, we will vote on the item that was originally taken up by the board. So all in favor of the amendments to item 7F1A, say aye. Any opposed? And the amendments pass unanimously. So now, are there any other comments or questions regarding the item at hand? All right, seeing none, we will move on and just vote on 7F1A as amended. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Member Klein.
Okay, thank you so much. The minutes from the Land Use and Transportation Committee can be found on pages 7 through 11 of the unapproved minutes packet, and I'm happy to answer any additional questions. I will point out, if I can, that I mentioned in our executive committee that I requested some literature from the University of Illinois, the Prairie Research Center, having to do with carbon capture technology in Illinois. So if any board member would like to have, there are 3 extra copies here, I'm happy to give those out, but I'm also happy to share a permanent PDF online if you know, it's going to be cold soon, so you can sit at home and read about carbon capture. But this is some good non-political resource information.
Thank you so much, Member Klein. She had reached out to them, and they were gracious enough to send those to us at no cost and ship them straight here to the county. So I'm grateful to U of I for doing that for us. Moving on to item 7G, County Administrator, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Chair Johnston. I have no items to present for action tonight, but I do have one item for information, and that is to give thanks to everyone who participated in the J.C.'s Christmas holiday parade this past weekend. We had our own county board member, Natalie Roseman Mendoza, who designed and painted the snowplow that was in the parade. It was lovely. And I'd also like to give a special thanks to the admin team who did all of the work in the 2 weeks leading up to it to make sure that that was a success, as well as showing up in force on the day of the event. So I know we had board member participation as well, some that were sporting some wonderful costumes. So thanks to all who participated.
Thank you so much. Moving on then to item 8, other business and communication. First thing I would like to note is that in our consent agenda, there was a typo on our pages 319 and 320. We did catch that, and that will be corrected in the final packet that gets published. It had to do with the Public Building Commission and the 2025 and 2026 rents. So we did update that, and that will be in the corrected packet. I'd also like to thank all of the members thus far on the McLean County Strategic Steering Committee. We have been working for a couple of months, and I'm very grateful to staff who've taken time to be there, be away from their offices, and really work on creating a mission, vision, and values is where we are right now for the county organization moving forward and where we're going to be in the future. That will actually be going out with help of our own Dan Leary and our strategic, the advisor group, Mejorando. They'll be promoting that for about 2 weeks online for community feedback, for board feedback, for employee feedback, and many of our community partners to give us feedback and make sure that we are on the right track and that the county is moving forward the way that we would like to. I do want to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday season this year. We are going to be moving into a closed session, and there will be no further business. So I will open it up if anybody else has other communication for the good of the cause. Seeing none, we will need to call a roll call vote to move into closed session, and this is item 8A, closed session pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120/2C1 to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee, a specific individual who serves as an independent contractor in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or a volunteer of the public body, or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. So we will I'll need a motion and a second, then we'll do a roll call vote. I have a motion by Vice Chair Rogal, second by Member Klein. Madam Clerk, if you'll conduct the roll call vote.
Val Lehman. Yes. Brian Leffler. Mike O'Neill. Adam Reeves. Jim Rogal.
Yep.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza. Yes. Jeff Tompkins.
Yes.
Andy Zebarth.
Yes.
Brian Bangert.
Yes.
Corey Byrne.
Yes.
Beverly Bell.
Yes.
Mark Claus.
Yes.
Leah Klein. Yes. Alex Duffy. Yes. Sean Fagan.
Yes.
Buck Farley. William John Frederick.
Yes.
Eric Hansen is absent. And new member, William Bessler. Chair, Elizabeth Johnston.
Yes.
Okay.
And we are officially in closed session, so if everyone will